Welcome back to Commercial First with Miss Education. Hi, Miss Education. Yay! All right, so today we're gonna talk about how to be an anti-racist. Right, how to be an anti-racist. And the reason why this came across my mind was because a few months ago I had signed up for professional development in the district to go to a anti-racist PD, right? And it popped up on my calendar. Oh, don't forget you have to attend this anti-racist professional development after school. I'm like, yeah, not today. I'm tired. And what does that mean to be anti-racist? I didn't understand. And again, I'm making assumptions right now, and I'm actually going to take the time to talk to a few people who've attended these things and see what their mentality, what they're thinking. Because in my head, I'm like, okay, a few things run through my head. If I'm going to this how to be an anti-racist, does that mean that I'm admitting to being a racist? Probably not. I hope not. If I'm attending an anti-racist training, does that mean that I am trying to dismantle a system? Like I'm trying to make sure that since I'm an educator, so that these students are in an anti-racist environment? And if that's the case, then have I identified the racism? You see, this is so funny to me because I go to these anti-racist, or I've attended these anti-racist professional developments, and I'm like, how are you trying to dismantle, change, break something when you haven't even identified it, right? No one's identified it. What exactly is this racism that you're trying to be anti? I don't know. These are just questions that I legit have, and so I'm just posing it to myself and to you. What does it mean to be anti-racist? You know what? Hold on. What does it mean to be anti-racist? I got a phone. Let me see. Okay, so this is anti-racism, verywellmind.com. I don't know. It says anti-racism is a process of actively identifying and oppressing racism. The goal of anti-racism is to challenge racism and actively change the policies, behaviors, and beliefs that perpetrate racist ideas and actions. Anti-racism is rooted in action. It is about taking steps to eliminate racism at the individual, institutional, and structural level. It is not a new concept, but the Black Lives Matter movement has helped increase the focus on the importance of anti-racism. Yes, and yet my question is, what exactly am I trying to change? No one's identified that for me. And I'm saying no one, I'm just looking at this. I just happened to Google this one site and it popped up, right? But this happens when I go, when I attend meetings, this is what happens. Everyone's like, we're anti-racist and we're going to do this. And I'm like, what are we fighting against? Exactly. I hear the concept of racism. To me, it's equivalent like the concept of oppression, right? But no one can tell me what oppression is. No one can tell me how I'm oppressed, yet I need to break the cycle of oppression, but I don't know how to break a cycle of something that I don't know what it is. I don't know, circular. I don't know. So same with racism, anti-racist. Like I'll tell you, and this is what I heard, right? So, and it's fascinating, and I've yet to look into it, but in a well-known affluent district in Massachusetts, which I work at the high school level, they're contemplating, if they have not already, decided to change the grading requirements. So they're lowering them because there are too many students, aka students of color, Black and brown children, who are not meeting the standards. They're not meeting the reading and writing standards. So we are lowering the bar when it comes to grading and assessing. And I think this is part of the anti-racist movement. So me being anti-racist, instead of pushing the students, providing more, extra help, doing, educating them, I am going to lower the standards because that makes me anti-racist, right? Another thing that I personally have to deal with, because Black Lives Matter and we are anti-racist, I know the system is that when it comes to discipline, when a child does something where the child would naturally earn a consequence for their said behavior, my hands are tied. These very anti-racist woke districts don't allow me to do anything per se because, like I said, they're anti-racist. And by a child earning a consequence due to their behavior, that would somehow be racist. And that comes because, unfortunately, the children that, the children that do these behaviors that need adult supervision or adult interaction and adult involvement tend to be Black and brown children. So because the Black and brown kids act up, and because we are now in a woke anti-racist society, to show that we are anti-racist, we are not going to hold these children accountable for their said behavior. Rather, we are going to reward, pacify, and affirm said behaviors, because that is what an anti-racist does? Question mark? Yeah, I don't know. Genuinely, I am confused, and I know that I come across like I'm a Black hating 43-year-old woman, and I promise you I am a Black loving. Like, I love Black where I'm willing to put a mirror in front of Blackness and speak truth to Blackness, because change cannot happen unless we are honest. Like, dude, I can't sit here. I'm gonna go with weight because that's just the first thing that comes to mind. Okay, I can't be like 700 pounds and be like, oh, I'm fine, I don't need to lose weight. No, I do. For my heart, for my organs, my arteries, like, I need to lose the weight for my health and for those I love, because I want to be around, right? I need to put the mirror in front of me and be like, yo, Jen, you're fat and you're unhealthy, right? There's a problem. And that's what I wish Black America could do. Like, I need you to put a mirror in front of you and see what's really good. Like, our society has literally catered to, like, so backwards how our society is catering to us. They're affirming us. They're pacifying us, but to our own detriment. Children no longer need to know how to read and write because they're Black, and we're going to pass them anyway because we're anti-racist, woke, and Black Lives Matter. We're going to pass them along. Children can misbehave and be disrespectful and I don't even want to say commit crimes because that's not where we are yet, but do these things in schools. Again, I'm elementary right now. Do these things in schools and nobody checks them. But then when you get to high school and college, or as adults, they do the same things and they're shocked when the police get involved. No exaggeration. I'm not making this up. 20 minutes ago, my phone rang, and it was a former student of mine calling me because he's locked up. He's like, "Miss, the food's not good. Could you put some money in my account for me?" Right? These are our children that the system, and for me, it's the educational system, right? I'm calling it out. It's the educational system. We've done this to our children. We've pacified them. We've affirmed them. We've anti-racist them. You know what I mean? To the point where they have no idea what's right and wrong, and they step out in the world, they act the fool, and then they're surprised when the rest of the world doesn't react to them like the school does. Yeah, no, I don't get it. I don't understand this anti-racist wokeness. Like, I feel like I think I feel bad for this, but there's this movement where these companies, because they're anti-racist, they need to do diversity hirings. And with these diversity hirings, they're hiring based on color and not qualification. I know I'm gonna get hate for this one. But for instance, you fly in a plane, I don't care what color you are when you fly that plane. I need you to be a qualified pilot. But now, a lot of companies, including airlines, look it up, including airlines, right? They're doing diversity hires where they're doing shortcuts and not requiring as many hours. People are not requiring the same, the same amount of training for a variety of fields, right? So it's not just aviation, though they could be included, where they're just hiring people based on their skin color. That's where it starts off. It always starts off with skin color. But then it's their sexual orientation and their gender identity. And then we hire them in these positions to fill a quota because we are now anti-racist and inclusive. I don't know. I'm sad about it. I know I should be excited that America is trying to be more inclusive and break the system of racism. My only question to that is, what exactly are we breaking? Like, what are we targeting? What's the exact thing that I'm anti? Like, what part of racism am I going for right now? Because it's such a big thing. So what part am I going for? Because if I'm going for the whole thing, I'm going to miss the whole thing, right? I'm not really doing anything. And I think that's what's happening. Maybe intentional, maybe not. I don't know. I do know. But, I just think that we need to think about it. We've been drinking that Kool-Aid where these new terms everyone's okay with. Yeah, I'm anti-racist. Yeah, I'm going to anti-racist training. Oh, look at me. It don't make no sense. I'm sorry. These anti-racist meetings make no sense. Maybe they can, but they're not made to make sense. I don't know. They just make no sense. I know I've said this before, but I went to one, and the lady who is starting off the anti-racist meeting does a land acknowledgement, and she's like, I want to give a shout out to the Wakapans. Forgive me, I don't know the names, okay? And the Pocono and the people, the natives, this is their land, and we stole their land, blase, blase. And then she goes on to, and then I want to credit Black people because they built this land. They were enslaved and they built this land. So I want to give credit to the Black people. And then she's like, and then white people, we suck. In essence, is what she was saying. We suck and we're bad, and we enslaved people, and we stole the Wacapaw people's land, and we're bad. I'm sitting there looking at this chick like, and you want me to trust you right now when you just poo-pooed all over you and your own people? And you want me to trust you? Because the truth is, if any of those Wacapaw people came up in here and were like, oh yes, this is our land, so let me have your house, which is sitting on my land. How many of y'all giving up your houses? Nobody's giving up their house to a Native American. Okay, let's call it what it is. Oh, and this land was built by Black people, and we enslaved them, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, is that it? Is that what you believe? So when they ask for reparation, which I don't agree with, but that's besides the point. When they ask for reparation, you coming out your pocket? I didn't think so. Oh, they built these land. They did. When they want to say, oh, let's have the White House because we helped build the White House. You finna give them the White House? Oh, I'm not talking about Obama, but you finna give them the White House? No, you're not. So what are we doing right now? That's all I'm saying. This whole anti-racist thing doesn't make sense. I don't know. I want it to make sense. It sounds good-ish, in theory-ish. I don't know. But it doesn't make sense to me. And if you can help me make sense of it, I would forever be grateful. But you know what? I am literally going to go find some people, some anti-racist people, and ask them, what is the purpose of these meetings and how have they helped the anti-racist cause? How have they made their communities less racist? Okay then. All right, for all my anti-racists out there, power to you. Till next time, commercial breaks with Miss Education. God bless you. Bye.